High-capacity hydraulics, four-wheel drive, hydrostatic transmission, horsepower. Ah, you like when somebody speaks your language. Then you better visit the experts at Minnesota Equipment in Isanti. Dozens of tractors, utility vehicles, mowers, and compact utility tractors ready to take home today at a price that won't break the bank. The sale is just the start of the relationship. Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti, or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
When you need an AC or furnace tune-up, Dale's Heating and Appliance is always clutch. Need financing on a new AC or furnace system? Dale's Heating and Appliance in Pine City is your closer. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Avoid costly repairs on your AC or heating system by getting a tune-up from Dale's Heating and Appliance. Dale's is your hometown cooling and heating expert, servicing Pine City and surrounding areas. Visit Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com today. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Back here on 106.5 FM and AM 1350. Of course, also over on 95.5 FM KBEK. We've got more baseball action coming your way here, as we've got the Pine City Dragons taking on the Mora Mustangs here in this elimination game, the third and final game here. And looking at the bracket here in the elimination part of it, the winner of this game will go on to play on June 6th at 4:30 at Wade Stadium. So that is what will happen with the winner of this one. They'll go on to play the winner of Mesabi East and Proctor. Right now, not loading for me, so it seems fair. But either way, it's like no update from that Mesabi East Proctor game. So the winner of that one would have played the loser of Duluth, Marshall, and Rockridge. So then the winner of that game will go on to play the winner of this game. I know it's confusing, but be sure to stay tuned to our morning shows. We'll keep you up to date as to who will play where and when. As we're getting our starting lineups here in this one. The Dragons will be the designated home team here, and the Mora Mustangs the away team in this one. So the Mustangs will by Owen Lind. So it was a big, big game there for the Mustangs. They were down at one point, but they came back to win it. And again, Cole Kamal, 2 home runs, and then it was Joe Bakke, with the other home run in that game. Joe Bakke and Cole Kamal led off with home runs in the first and second inning. That's how they scored their first 2 runs of the game. As we take a look at the defense here for Pine City, as they are the designated home team, they'll go out to the field first. And on the mound for the Pine City Dragons, it will be Nick Plajic. Then behind the plate, catching for him will be Ethan Agard. Over at first will be Aiden Palmer. Then at second, Luke Wilson. Over at third, it will be Isaiah Haas. Then at shortstop, Elliot Blatz. Out on the field, left field, Bryce Erickson. Center field, Riley Cummings. And right field will be Mason Charles. That is how they line up on defense here for the Dragons' second game. And they will get started. Nick Plajic will be the starting pitcher here. As Isaiah Haas, he was the starter in that first game. And that was a tough one against just a very, very good ESCO team. Not an easy one there for the Dragons as they fell in that one 14-3 in the bottom of the 6th. But again, Nick Stewart came in and pitched inning and a third and gave up 1 walk. He did a pretty good job, though, coming in that kind of situation. It was not easy, the situation that he had to deal with, and he came in and did a good job of getting something going. The Dragons' one run in the first came on Mason Charles after he got a double to begin the game. And then they would score 2 more in the 5th inning. Elliot Blatz and Aiden Palmer would cross the plate. But that would be all they could muster as they allowed a number of home runs there in that game against Esco. And Esco is just an absolute powerhouse this year. They're a very good team, and I mean it is tough if you're a Dragon fan to see that happen, but the Eskimos are just that good. But there is a way around that. There's a reason why they do have 1 loss on the year. One team has figured it out, and the next team that does could beat them. Although with a team that good, even if you do figure it out some, does not mean that you will get the victory. So leading off for the Mora Mustangs will be Cole Gamal. He's starting over at first here in their second game of the day. Nick Plajic gets set. Here's the windup, and the first pitch of game number 3 here in Esco is either called a late strike or a ball. So Plajic gets set. Here's the windup and the pitch. That one's outside. 1-1 count for Cole Gamal, the leadoff batter here for the Mustangs. Plajic gets set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's on the outside part of the plate for ball 2. Two-one count now for Cole Gamal, the leadoff batter for the Mustangs. Hit 2 home runs in that previous game. He gets this one on a line out to center field for a base hit. So Cole Gamal leads it off with a base hit. And the Mustangs have a runner on first with nobody down, and it's Carter Gamal to the plate. He'll be playing at shortstop here in this game. Gamal steps into the batter's box. Plajic gets set. Here's the pitch. That one is swung on and hit. That had a lot of spin to it. Then to right field for a base hit. Oh, and then the throw to third from Charles leads to another bag for Carter Gamal. So Cole Gamal is into third, and Carter Gamal gets a single, and then an ill-advised throw over to third from Mason Charles. So on in scoring position for Nathan Nelson. He's playing over at third. Here's the first pitch to him. That one's at the letters just high for ball 1. In a game like this, it is so tough for one team, and it seems almost, I don't want to say easy for the other, but Mora is coming in off such a momentous last half for that game they just played against International Falls, as Plajic gets this one in there for strike 1 to Nelson. But they've got a ton of momentum coming into this one. Pine City coming off a loss, so not so much momentum for the Dragons coming into this one. So they're reeling a little bit, but a nice strike there for Nick Plajic on Nelson. So Nelson with a 1-2 count now, but still nobody down and runners on in scoring position. So a tough spot here for Pine City early in this one already, as Nelson will step out of the box and take a couple swings, then steps back in. Plajic gets set. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Nelson gets on top of this one, right out to right field. This might be deep enough to score the runner from third. It will. Oh, a little bit closer than I thought, and wow. Cole Gamal in from third scored, and the Mustangs lead 1-0. Top of the first. And now to the plate for the Mustangs is going to be Owen Lind, the pitcher today for the Mustangs in this second game as Plajic gets the first pitch ball, and then this one is swung on and missed, so it's a 1-1 count now for Owen Lind. This one is going to be low for ball 2. To deep center. Cummings, the center fielder, under it, gets under it, and now the throw to home. Not going to be even close as Cardigamal scores on another sack for the Mustangs. And now it's a piece of that one. Fouls it back into the back for Rant. Is how they got those. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Nick Plajic, and Rant will foul that one back into the fence. That one's high, and it's ball 3 now to Rant. Full count. We're going to try to get out of this inning. Plajic with the delivery. So she'll hand the couple new balls, and we'll get set to do it again with a full count. Plajic gets set. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Kenny Rant, he'll be out number 3, but the Mustangs do some damage. Getting 2 runs to cross here in the top of the first inning. They lead 2-0 over the Pine City Dragons as we will move to the bottom of the first. And again, Dragons coming in off a loss, Mora off a win, so the momentum is in the Mustangs' favor a little bit, just in the 3.058 ERA, a 1.369 whip. And he also has 32 strikeouts, which is good enough for 3rd on the team behind Nathan Nelson and James Oslin. He's allowed 37 hits, 24 runs, and 15 earned runs. He's got 2 wins and 3 losses on the season. For Owen Lind coming in here to play this to start this second game for Mora. Again, Nathan Nelson went all 7 for the Mustangs in that last game. And in the elimination bracket, you might see that just because of the fact that, you want your best going at it. And he did a pretty good job, did Nathan Nelson, getting a few strikeouts, but he still had to battle there against Cy Falls. And now it will be the Dragons' turn at the plate. And leading it off for the Dragons is going to be Mason Charles. Playing out in right field, of course. Lind's first pitch to Mason Charles is swung on and fouled back. Next pitch to him is a ball for the 1-1 count. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside. For ball 2 to Mason Charles. Again, he led off with a double in their first game, and then eventually scored a run, and this one is going to get past the third baseman's glove on a nasty hop, so Charles is going to reach. Bryce Erickson comes to the plate as the left fielder. He's also a lefty. So a runner on first, nobody out for the Dragons, and Bryce Erickson comes to the plate. Lynn will check on the runner at first. Charles is back safely. It's going to be popped up out of play. And we'll do it with a 0-1 count for Bryce Erickson. Lynn keeping a close eye over on Charles at first. Lynn with the 0-1 delivery. The throw down to second in plenty of time. They knew that was coming, and they were waiting for it. And Mason Nelson with a great throw down to 2 to catch Charles stealing. So Charles. So Owen Lynn, 1 down and nobody on now. Erickson drills this one back up the middle, past Lynn, but the second baseman is on it. Gets it to first in time for out number 2. So now Isaiah Haas coming to the plate, and dangerous batter right here. Two down, nobody on, and Isaiah Haas at the plate. A lot of power behind that swing. And if for the Dragons, you're hoping he can put a ride on something, but that one right to the third baseman. The throw on to first in plenty of time for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down go the Dragons. And we will move to the top of inning number 2. The Mustangs feeling it, especially after getting that win there in the last game. So they've got a lot of momentum coming into this one. They scored 2 runs in the top of the first. They'll look to add on some more here in the top of the second. And leading it off will be Jordan Such, DH. Dragons trail 2-0. As we sit here in the top of the second, rather. The Dragons trail 2-0. Mustangs going to get back to the plate again. They had a very, very good game against I Falls, and where they hit 3 home runs. Cole Gamal hit 2 of them. He led off that game with a home run, which is very impressive. So we'll get ready. And again, leading off is Jordan Such.
Batting first in the top of the second inning, number 24, Jordan Such.
Nick Plajic, the starting pitcher for the Dragons in this game. Ended last inning with a strikeout, so he's got to be feeling a little bit of confidence here. This one's in there for strike 1. A little something off of that one. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Plajic. That one's hit sky high into left field. Erickson is under it, grabs it for out number 1. Now to the plate for the Mustangs. He led off the second inning with a home run in just the game before this one. And he's looking to put that one for a ride, but it's going to go back out of play over the Dragons dugout. Makes it an 0-1 count. Here's the 0-1 delivery from Plajic. He took something off that one, just over the second baseman, Luke Wilson's head, and that is going to roll a ways, and the center fielder can't grab it in time, and they're going to hold him at 2. So Joe Backey in with the double. A 1-out double for Joe Backey. And now it's Nolan McGaw to the plate. Now it's Mason Nelson to the plate for the Mustangs.
Mason Nelson.
Hey, here we go. If it's there, drive it. Run on contact here.
2 down, runner on second. Here's the pitch from Plajic. So Cole Gamal coming to the plate. And now the Mustangs lead 3-0. And one of the best ways to try and get a victory is to get on top early and just continue to be aggressive. And now it is Cole Gamal back.
Here we go, Cole.
So Cole Gamal steps into the batter's box. Gets ready, 2 down, runner on second. Plajek with the pitch. In there for strike 1.
Here we go, Cole.
0-1 pitch from Plajek on the way. Low for ball 1. One count now for Cole Gamal. He led off with a single in the first and eventually scored. That one's above the letters for Sue. A 2-1 count for Cole Gamal, and got that runner on second. 2 down. He puts a hit on this one, but it's going to roll foul down the first base line. It'll leave the count at 2-2. And Nick Plajek trying to get his team out of this one without allowing too much more to happen. Here's the 2-2. That one swung on and drifting towards left field. And that's fair, they're going to say. Diving catch missed by Bryce Erickson. So another 2-out. First pitch to him is in there for strike 1. 0-1 count for Carter Gamal, and here's the pitch from Plajek. That one swung on and popped up into foul territory, and it's out of play. Over the Dragon dugout. 0-2 count now for Carter Gamal. Plajek gets set. Here's the 0-2 delivery, swung on and missed. A big strikeout there for Nick Plajek to end the top of the second, but more damage done by the Mustangs. They get 2 runs across, and the Dragons now trail 4-0 as we move to the bottom of the second inning. Dragons will need to get something going their way if they want their season to continue. Again, momentum heavily.
Agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas. When you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction.
Top-performing team to work for you. Visit our local Pine City branch on Hillside Avenue. Call us at 320-629-6713 or explore.
Fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant, Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Bottom of the second, it's Nick Plajek to lead off for the Pine City Dragons. First pitch from Lind is in there for strike 1. So the winner of this game will play Duluth Marshall. Sounds like. After Rockridge beat him. Right field, that's going to stay fair. And Plajek is going to round first. He's going to move towards second, and he's in with a leadoff stand-up double. 4-0 deficit for the Runs in the first and 2 in the top of this inning. Pitch from Lind is in there to Cummings for strike 1. Coming back in the box, Lind. Move on to the 6th at Wade State. As Lind delivers this one to Cummings, he swings through it. As Lind delivers this one to Cummings, he swings through it. First round looking on that one. First pitch to Blatz is swung on and hit right to the short. Here's the pitch from Lind. High. For ball 1. 1-0 delivery from Lind. It's high. 2-0. 2-0 count now for Palmer. Lind gets set. Here's the pitch. Just outside off the plate for ball 3. 3-0 count now to Aiden Palmer. The first baseman here for Pine City. That pitch is over the plate for strike 1. .31 now to Palmer. It's going to be high for ball 4. And he will walk down to first. So bases are loaded now with Ethan Agard coming to the plate. Don't know if he has the power to go yard. Maybe he does. But a base hit here would score a couple at least. So bases loaded, 1 down for Pine City. But good news for Mora, there is literally an out at every bag. Whether it's home, second, third, or first, step on a bag, there's an out. And with the second pitch, this one is swung on and hit foul. 1-1 count now for Ethan Agard. Lind gets set, readies, and here's the 1-1. Agard in front of that one. And now it's 1-2. Lind sets, here's the pitch. Check swing from Agard. He didn't go, so it'll be even up the count at 2-2. Yeah, bases loaded, 1 down for Pine City. Trying to cut into this Mustang lead. Lind trying to get the second out. Oh, that's a called strike. I don't know about that one. Called strike, and Agard will go down looking for out number 2. And now Luke Wilson comes to the plate. He is the tying run. And Wilson will follow that one back. So 1 count now for Luke Wilson as he follows that one off out of play. Lind with the pitch. Outside for ball 1. So 1-1 count for Luke Wilson. That one's in there for strike 2. Bases loaded, and if you're Pine City here, you would not want to strand this many guys, especially when you had him on there with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Fouled off by Wilson. He's a little bit late on that one. So an opportunity for Pine City to try and cut into this 4-point deficit. But Lind a little bit ahead of Wilson right now, and Lind with the pitch. Wilson gets a piece of it, and that's going to... Oh, somehow oh my goodness. It's going to score 2 runs here for Pine City as the second baseman could not pick it up cleanly. So 2 runs score. it's more of an error, I believe, as now Mason Charles comes to the plate. So runners on first and second, and the Dragons have cut the lead in half on an awkward play. I think Charles called time. So still 2 down, runners on first and second. But the second baseman just couldn't seemingly pick up that ball. He couldn't get enough grip on it to pick it up and throw it anywhere. By the time he picked it up, Logic and Blatz had come across the plate for 2 runs. Two down, pitch to Charles is going to get through, and they're going to send Aiden Palmer. The throw, not going to be there, and Luke Wilson safe back at second. So Palmer will be safe at the plate. An RBI single from Mason Charles, and now it's Bryce Erickson coming to the plate, and all of a sudden it's a 4-3 game, still in favor of the Mustangs, but the Dragons really got helped out by a kind of a fumbling grab of the ball at second. Just seemingly either couldn't find it at the dirt, maybe made it slippery, I don't know, but that was a tough one as Bryce Erickson will lift this one out of play. I couldn't find it, but it apparently goes right behind us. 0-1 for Erickson, and he gives this one right out to left field. It's up enough, and the left fielder's under it in time for out number 3. So the Dragons do get a little bit of luck to go their way. They do cross a couple on an error and then cross one on an RBI single from Mason Charles, but they will strand 2 here in the bottom of the second inning. And the score now 4-3, still in favor of the Mustangs. They'll look to get back to the top of the third and do more damage. They have done some really good work in these first 2 innings. They'll look to do even more work here in the third. So we will take a quick commercial break here. We're from some of our fine sponsors. You're listening to Playoff Baseball on WCMP.
It's finally mowing season, but you'd rather be doing something else. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to help you get the job done quicker, any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk-behind mowers. How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Yard work doesn't have to take all day. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
Top of the third inning on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics custom braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. Also, they have Dr. Severs, who is committed to providing you a world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. And they're also helping you find a smile you'll embrace forever. Find out more at embracemn.com. First pitch swinging there is Nathan Nelson, but he'll fly out to the center fielder for out number 1. And now Owen Lind will come to the plate. With 1 down, his team does lead 4-3 as they look to add a few more runs here in the top of the third. 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second. They'll look to continue that trend. Nick Plojic with the windup and the pitch. Lind is first pitch swinging, but he'll foul it back out of play. So again, winner moves on to June 6th. That one's going to bounce to the catcher Agard, and it will be a 1-1 count. 1-1 count for Owen Lynn. Nick Plajek with the pitch. That's low in the dirt again for ball 2. 2-1 count. Plajek with the 2-1 delivery. That one's high into left field. Erickson under it, grabs it in time for out number 2. And Kenny Rant now coming in. He struck out in his first at-bat in the first. Plajek with the windup and the pitch. In there. Strike 1. To Kenny Rant. And Rant on the season. As we see that one get swung on and hit right at the shortstop. And they're going to call him out at first. That's a tough play there. The shortstop definitely short-armed it, but they're going to say he got it there in time. 2-3 go the Mustangs, and we'll head down to the bottom of inning number 3. Score still sits at 4-3 with the Mustangs leading over the Dragons on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible. Custom braces or Invisalign, you can find out more at embracemn.com. That's EMBRACEMN.com. And both these teams trying to save their seasons. Loser's season is over. They're trying to save it. It's a fun one. This is a rivalry game between these two teams. They play in every sport, and it's always a fun game between those teams. So we'll get the final warm-ups in for the Mustangs, and then to lead off the third inning, it's going to be Isaiah Haas for the Dragons. It's going to be Isaiah Haas for the Dragons. Oh, here we go. We're ready for action in the bottom of the third, and it's Isaiah Haas leading it off for the Dragons. Love to see just a one pitch, one swing, one run, but that is very hard to do. And also, and that is on a line, bounces to the shortstop and thrown on to first in time for out number 1. It's a good play there by the shortstop, making a play on that hop. That's not an easy play to make, but gets the throw on to first even in time for out number 1. And now it's Nick Plajek, the pitcher for Pine City, coming to the plate. He watches that one go by for strike 1. No 1 count now to Plajek. Lind with the pitch. Took a little something off that one. Plajek read it, but fouls it into the backstop. So now it's an 0-2 count for Nick Plajek. Lind with the 0-2. Just outside for ball 1 to Nick Plajek. 1-2 count. As Lind with the delivery. That was low. That'll even the count at 2-2. Two count in here for Nick Plajek. Owen Lind. Good set. Here's the pitch. Plajek will bounce that one, and it bounces up into and past the third baseman, and Plajek is on. We'll call that a base hit. Sure, why not? So a runner on first with 1 out. And it brings Riley Cummings to the plate, who struck out looking in his first at-bat. First pitch to him is low. Ball one. Cummings will step out of the box, check to his head coach for the signal, and steps back in. Lind with the 1-0 delivery, excuse me. That one's going to be outside as well for a 2-0 count. Delivery from Lind. Just outside off the plate. Now a 3-0 count to Cummings. 3-0, and that's in the dirt. And Cummings will walk on 4 pitches. That will bring Elliot Blatz to the plate. He hit a base hit in his last at-bat in the second. So 1 down and runners on first and second for Pine City. Lind likes the signal. And here's the pitch. Blatz will pop this one up, back, and the catcher, Nelson, cannot get to it. That was going to be a tough one no matter what there for Nelson. Almost got to it, but just kind of ran out of real estate there. It waits an 0-1 count here for Elliot Blatz. Lind back to the mound. Glances at what he likes. Checks back at second. Send the runner from second. No, they're going to hold him at the last second just because that ball was quickly thrown in. So now it's down and bases loaded. Lind with the pitch. Little something off that one. He gets it in there for strike one. On 1 count now to Aiden Palmer. Here's the pitch from Lind. Not about it, but held up. 1-1 count now to Palmer. After that check swing, he just held up in time. And here's the 1-1 pitch from Lind. Palmer late on that one, fouls it back out of play. Plate, Ethan Agard. Oh, for the Dragons, you want to at least get somebody home here. Don't want to strand of loaded bases, but Lind doing a good job. That one's in the dirt. Nice job by Mason Nelson to hold that one in front of him. Keeps the runners at bay. It's a 1-0 count now for Agard. Ball 2. 2-1 count for Agard as Lind with the 2-1 pitch in there for strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. 2-2 count now for Ethan Agard. Bases loaded and 2 down. Mustangs trying to hold on to that 1-run lead. Dragons trying to take a lead. And he'll get him down looking. Agard didn't like the call, but that was right on that outside part of the plate where this ump has been giving it to him. So the Mustangs get out of a big-time jam there with the bases loaded and 1 out. Lind with 2 strikeouts to help them get out of that inning. So we're going to move to the top of inning number 4 here in Esco, the final game of the day between the Pine City Dragons and the Mora Mustangs. This is a rivalry game, always a fun one between these two teams. But while they're in between innings, we'll go to a quick commercial break. You're listening to Playoff Baseball here on WCMP and KBEK.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
High-capacity hydraulics, four-wheel drive, hydrostatic transmission, horsepower. You like when somebody speaks your language. Then you better visit the experts at Minnesota Equipment in Isanti. Dozens of tractors, utility vehicles, mowers, and compact utility tractors ready to take home today at a price that won't break the bank. The sale is just the start of the relationship. Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti, or at minnesotaequipment.com.
The top of the fourth inning sees the Mustangs leading on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. They'll do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. And even if you don't have insurance, you can ask about financing options because they will find a plan to fit your budget at embracemn.com. Here to lead off this Vault Sioux. 2-0 count now for Such. This one there from Plajek is now Such has got an even count at 2-2. That one in to first in time for out number one, and Luke Wilson get that one to the first baseman a little bit quicker next time. That was a really close play at first. That could have been a easier route. So one down here for the Mustangs as Nick Plajek will deliver the first pitch to Joe Aki, and he swings and misses at the first one. A 1 count for Aki. That one's going to be low for ball one. Nolan McGaw gets to the plate now. 0 for 1 flew out in his first at-bat in the second inning. Logic with that one in there for strike one. And no, the scoop from, it was a good stretch from Aiden Palmer, but the throw just bounced a little bit too much, and Nolan McGaw is going to reach on a single. So Mason Nelson will come to the plate. He got an RBI double in his first at-bat.
Next up, number 28, Mason Nelson.
So runner on first with 2 down. And Mason Nelson at the plate. Swinging and missing on the first pitch to him. A 1 count now to Mason Nelson, and Plajek will check on the runner at first, but McGaw is back safely. So Nelson will set back up. A 1 count, Plajek with the pitch. And it's in there for a strike, and Agard was going to throw it on down to second, but it popped out of his glove. So no throw down to 2. And a runner on second with 2 down. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit foul down the third base line. Nick Plajek will try and get the Dragons out of this inning without letting that runner at second do any damage. Here's the pitch to Nelson. It's going to be high. It's a 2-2. With a strikeout on Mason Nelson. So it will be the Dragons' turn at the inning. Dragons trailing by 1. Mustangs doing a good job of holding on to that 1-run lead. And that is next Tuesday, it looks like. So the winner of this game will play on Tuesday at Wade Stadium in Duluth. But we are here. We're here at the final one. Seems like we've got in between these innings, longer warm-ups for these pitchers this time. We're getting ready for the bottom of the, and we'll head back to the top of the order with Mason Charles. So 0-1, here's the 0-1 delivery, that's low, and here's the 0-1 delivery, that's low, and in the dirt for ball one. One pitch to Wilson, ball two. 2-1 count now to Luke Wilson. Ooh,
Top of the order, number 14, Mason Charles.
Left side twice,
and coming to the plate is going to be the top of the order, Mason Charles, with that runner on first. It will check on Wilson at first, but he is back safely, making him get his jersey dirty. Here's the pitch to Charles as he gets this one, and that one's going to drift foul down that third base line. So an 0-1 count for Mason Charles after fouling that one off. Charles will look for the signal from head coach Ted Haas, and he'll step back into the batter's box. And here's the next pitch to him. Don't know if that was called strike. It was. 0-2 now for Mason Charles. Runner on first, nobody down. Charles will check to the head coach, and now sit back into the box. Lind readies, and here's the 0-2. Oh, and don't really know what Charles is swinging at there. Swinging at something way high. That's one where you just got to have discipline up there and not swing at that one. But that brings to the plate Bryce Erickson, 0 for 2 today. Lind first pitch to Erickson is called ball. Oh, here's the pitch now to Erickson. Another one for Bryce. He looks back to the ump saying, really? But the ump has made up his mind. Luke Wilson back in time. Back in time, and full count now for Bryce Erickson. Lind with the pitch. Erickson will pop this one up before this one's caught, and he'll have to move back. It's Isaiah Haas come to a certain point in the game. He went and hit a 3-run homer. Wilson back to first. Lind gets the signal. That one's going to be low, outside. Ball one. The Dragons getting anything across, and we'll get some. We'll have to go back to Lind. That pitch is swung on and by Isaiah Haas. He straightens that one out. That one might be down. Still full count here for Haas. Runner at first is Wilson. 2 down. Lind with the pitch. That one is a foul off the third base line. Haas protecting here. Good battle. Takes a peek at the runner at first. Haas fouls this one back. Wilson's into third. 2 down. And to the plate now is Nick Plajek. Make sure they're on the same. Plajek. Oh, just past the. That will single here for Nick Plajek. Will tie this game up. This one's in the dirt, and he holds off. Back to Lind. So Lind has thrown a ton of pitches here again. So Cummings will be out. Move on to the top of inning number 5 here. It's final game of the day between the rivals of Pine City.
Dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business.
It's in Pine City is your closer. Dale'sHeatingAndAppliance.com.
Avoid costly repairs on your AC or heating system by getting a tune-up from Dale's Heating and
A little bit the wind, a little chill to it here in this one. Cloud is about to move on, but it has covered the sun a little bit. This is Cole Gamal. Count for Cole Gamal. And Plajic with the pitch. Swung on, and that would... Carter Gamal now comes to the plate. One down, nobody on. That one's in there. Is low for a ball. So Nick Plajic to Carter Gamal. It's a 2-1 count. Carter Gamal. That's into that gap between first and second, but Luke Wilson does a good job picking it up, throwing it on to first again for out number 2. Now Nathan Nelson coming to the plate. RBI sac fly in the first and flew out in the third. Oh, 1 count for Nathan Nelson. 0-1, just off the mark. We'll make it a 1-1 count. Owen Lind on deck. He also had an RBI sac fly and flew out in the third. 1-1 for Nathan Nelson. Here's the pitch from Plajic. Outside, ball 2. Here's the pitch from Plajic. It's going to be inside on Nathan Nelson. It's now 3-1. The count to Nathan Nelson. Something on base for his team and break this tie. That one is fouled back out of play, and that will run the count full now for Nathan Nelson. Plajic gets set. Nathan Nelson back. We'll get set to do it again with a full count. Going to step out of the box for a moment. Now back inside, and Nick Plajic with the windup and the pitch. Oh, and it hit. Runner on first. Plajic gets set, and here's the delivery. It's in there for strike 1. So Plajic will step off and force Nelson to go back to first. Plajic will get set, and here's the pitch. High for ball 1, and the throw down. Got him. Nathan Nelson tried some gymnastics out there, but he's going to get caught stealing for out number 3. Almost. Tried to dive over the tag, but he was eventually tagged for out number 3. So we will move down to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're still tied at 4. Here on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, Dr. Sears is committed to providing a friendly and comfortable atmosphere, and has really, we're all okay with that, especially with that sun, with what it was doing earlier. This is a welcome breeze. So bottom of the 5th, we're still tied at 4. As the Dragons scored 3 there in that 2nd inning. And then it was in the 4th. Because Luke Wilson scored from 3rd. So the 2nd and 4th is where the Dragons scored. They'll look to try and break this 4-4 tie. Owen Lind will be back out there for a 5th inning, and leading off for the Pine City Dragons in the bottom of the 5th will be time, and Lots will beat it out for an infield single. Now 3 for 3 today. That brings to the plate another power hitter, Aiden Palmer. He reached on a walk in the second, which eventually came around to score, and then struck out in the third. We'll check the runner at first, but he's back safely. So runner on, nobody out as the lead off. This bunt is, whoa, popped up foul. And that's where it will land. It is right in front of the Mora dugout. It goes foul, and Lynn will get set, and Palmer not showing bunt that time as that pitch is high. So 1-1 count. Lynn with the pitch. Down there, but unfortunately they could not tag him, so he will be